So we talked about E, and you can check that out in the previous video about base E. So building off that concept, investigating continuous growth is what we're going to talk about next. So continuous growth and decay formula. For all real numbers T and all positive numbers A and R, continuous growth or decay is represented by the formula A of T equals AE to the RT, where A is the initial value, R is the continuous rate per unit time, and of course E is E, that irrational number, and T is the elapsed time. If R is greater than 0, then the formula represents growth. If it's less than 0, then it represents continuous decay. For business applications, the continuous growth formula is called continuous compounding formula. It takes the form A of T equals P e to the RT, where P is the principal or the initial amount invested. R is the growth or the interest rate per unit time, and T is the period or term of the investment. So how to solve a continuous growth or decay function? First, we're going to use the information in the problem to determine A, the initial value of the function, or P if it's the financial one. Use the information in the problem to determine the growth rate R. Again, if R is greater than 0, it's growth. If it's less than 0, it's decay. Use the information in the problem to determine the time T. Substitute the given information into the continuous growth function, or formula, and solve for A of T. So, example 10. A person invested $1,000 in an account earning a nominal 10%. That's a great rate. Oh, my pencil fell asleep. 10% per year compounded continuously. How much was in the account at the end of 1 year? So the amount at time T is going to be P e to the RT. So it's going to be 10,000 times E to the rate, so 10%, so that's in decimal form is 0.1. And time is 1 year, so times 1. And we get, approximately I should say, $1,105.17. Okay. Next one. Radon 222 decays at a continuous rate of 17.3% per day. How much will 100 milligrams of radon decay into in 3 days? Okay, so our formula will be using A of T. The amount is equal to the initial amount, E to the RT. So the amount at time T is going to be 100 is our initial amount. E to the negative 0.173 times T. And this is a per day rate, and they give this in days. So the amount after 3 days is 100 times E to the negative 0.173 times 3. I should do approximately. But in the calculator, we end up with 59.5115 milligrams. Is what remains. And that's it for this video and this section too.